Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what Lezin's about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. We are still releasing all of our Patreon bonus episodes in season 7. Our last episode was for the Fallout and Red, White, and Royal Blue. And we have those all on bit.ly/LesPatreon if you want to join. We are also doing a second release of Journey to the Heart where we're going to do an entirely new path. So it's a choose your own adventure podcast, which means the first time around you pick different choices. And the second time around we're swapping those choices. So you get to hear both versions of the podcast, which is really exciting. You can listen to that anywhere you listen to your podcast. In the greater Les universe, any Bridgerton fans out there, I think will love this next news. 2 Bridgerton superfans who also happen to be a Black lesbian couple, which is a really big deal, are going to be getting a Bridgerton-themed wedding directly from Bridgerton. So they're filming this whole special, and you're going to get to follow along with their Bridgerton wedding, which is super exciting. It's on Netflix. It's coming out on May 21st. So if you want to see that and enjoy some queer love stories. Also in the Greater Les universe, Kaitlynn was talking about how she came out as a lesbian after identifying as bisexual, and she mentioned a Google Doc that basically convinced her that maybe she wasn't quite bisexual and she was really a lesbian. There was always something missing with men. And of course, that Google Doc, a lot of people are speculating, is the lesbian master doc, which we had thoughts about in a previous episode. But I just found that so fascinating. And also, good for you, Kaitlynn. Enjoy your queer life in whatever way that takes you. Also, I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this before in a previous podcast episode, but I Kissed a Girl is a new British reality TV show that is very, very gay. 2 girls meet, they get coupled up, they kiss before they even speak to each other, and I've been watching, and I have to say I'm obsessed. It is definitely very, very gay and not quite so problematic as The Ultimatum. But, there's still got a lot of good lesbian drama, some U-hauling, all that fun stuff. So if you want to watch that, if you're in the UK, or if you can figure out a way to watch it from the US on a VPN, it is highly, highly recommended by me. With that, back to you, Ellie and Lee. Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 126th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, trick arrows are flying, Avengers are hiding, and Emily Dickinson's here. It's the most wonderful time to be queer.
Wow, I don't know. I thought you were gonna burst into the whole Avengers musical.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I dug the Avengers musical as tongue in cheek as it was. I was into it. We could do this all day. Yeah, I was into it.
Good.
Okay.
I was trying to remember the song, and then I was like, yeah,
I was going to pretend that I didn't remember it, but I so
You
do.
know it. Yeah, you've been singing it.
I'm surprised I don't know the dance by now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all watch it again, and we're going to do some rehearsals, okay?
I mean, you could really do, all we know is one song. You could, you know what I mean? You just have to get that one number down.
Ellie, I think you and I should finish the
right?
musical. We should just write the whole thing.
Write the whole
Just write the whole musical.
I'll die.
Oh, God. Incredible.
But
we are here today to talk about Hawkeye, as everyone has clearly caught on to. And we are joined by some very special guests. We have Kaitlynn and Theora, who are co-hosts of the Big Gay Energy podcast, an LGBTQ plus media podcast aimed at amplifying voices in queer media and advocating for better representation. Two things we care nothing
I know,
about at all.
sounds like our kind of podcast.
Welcome, you two.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here and talk about this show because it's super fun.
Yes.
It was fun.
So exciting.
It was fun. I
Let's
enjoyed
go. Before we start, actually, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your podcast?
Ooh. Kaitlynn, do you want to take that one?
Oh, great. Okay. So
Don't sound too excited.
You're the more well-spoken one. If you hear the podcast, you will get that really quickly. Anyway, so our podcast, we do in-depth analysis of different TV shows, as well as reaction videos, and also interviews with cast members, creators of queer content, as well as crew members. And that's something I'm very passionate about because they're not seen on camera, so people don't really know who they are. And it's really fun to get to talk to the people who work really hard behind the scenes and see how much they love their job. Like, that's just the cutest part of the whole thing, like seeing their face light up. But
also, because I can't imagine queers aren't overrepresented in the crew space. Like, who doesn't love
so
like
true.
a beaner and some like gaff tape or something, right? Like, we're all into that. Come on.
Exactly.
yes. But yeah, we talk about
Love
a lot
that.
of queer media, have a lot on our list that we want to cover, and just love gaying it up all over the place.
We're here for that, and we are ready to gay Hawkeye up today. Let's do it. Leah, are you ready for the IMDb synopsis?
I'm ready for the extremely disappointing IMDb synopsis for the TV miniseries Hawkeye, which is as follows. Series based on the Marvel Comics superhero Hawkeye, centering on the adventures of young Avenger Kate Bishop, who took on the role after the original Avenger Clint Barton. Kid you not. That is the IMDb
terrible.
synopsis.
That's it.
Verbatim as written. It's not great.
Do you think this
Not
was
great,
written
y'all.
before they released the show?
I have no idea. And or someone had a stroke and like went back and wrote this. I'm not sure.
Someone really did not watch this at all and was like, yeah, this is what it is. It's a show about Hawkeye.
It was written by someone
Hawkeye is a show about Hawkeye.
who didn't get paid enough to care.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds right.
For sure.
So
That
let's
is so funny.
let's improve it. Do you wanna kick us off there, or what would be your gay synopsis?
I
for
thought you'd
Hawkeye,
never
the
ask.
series.
Let's do it. Okay. The Marvel TV show that should have been Hailee Steinfeld's 2021 hat trick of queer lady roles. Remember, we got Dickinson season 3 and season 1 of Arcane that year. This could have been number 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm.
That's such a good
I
point.
know.
Really a lost opportunity.
Would have been a
She
perfect
almost got
trilogy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, what about you,
I mean, but to
Kaitlynn?
be fair, is it not a queer role?
That's why we're
We'll
here.
discuss. Yeah.
Theora's
Hit us
synopsis
with your gay
is
synopsis.
actually longer.
Oh, it's still going?
Oh.
Oh my gosh. We were just like,
So
good
sorry. I'm
good
so
point.
sorry.
Snaps. Okay. No,
Keep
continue.
it going. Keep it
I'm
going.
encouraged that one line be whatever
Was
AI
enough.
wrote the IMDb thing, so that's really good. Okay, so a little more detail. So Hailee plays Kate Bishop, the least straight archer to ever live, who has an enemies to something LGBT just happened to me plotline with Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, and also superhero stuff happens.
Yes. That's what we all
Yeah.
watched.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, now Kaitlynn, now we're ready. Hit
Now
us.
we have come to my turn.
Okay.
So in my perfect queer world, this is the synopsis. Bisexual sharpshooter with hidden trauma, Kate Bishop, gets superhero lessons from stealthy queer Hawkeye, because what's more queer than a person with a bow and arrow? Just ask Katniss Everdeen or Nyssa Al Ghul.
Ah, incredible.
Brilliant.
Incredible.
Brilliant.
Do you have a gay synopsis, Ellie?
Here we go. What do a one-eyed dog, LARPers, and a hot random girl in your apartment have to do with each other? They're all surrounding a queer person in this queer adventure of a lifetime.
So true.
That's it.
So true.
Honestly, like, what queer person does not have some sort of like quirky animal, right?
I have a one-eyed
Pizza-
dog.
Right? Lee?
I'm just saying.
Pizza dog. Pizza dog is queer.
Yeah.
LARPing. There's a million things in this. Like Kate Bishop, obviously, the second we saw her, queer. But I feel like they also just like, they're taking us on all these kind of side quests that are also queer. Musicals? There's a lot to it.
That's like my
So I'm
first
ready.
point. But can I just say, this is slightly related. I really wish Pizza Dog kept its name Pizza Dog and not changed to Lucky. Because Pizza Dog is just very epic.
Yeah.
Pizza Dog is the best name.
It also just didn't have any reason given for the name change, you know?
It was just random.
Like, you did the whole scene where he responds to his name. His name was Pizza Dog. Why change it? There's no plot reason for it.
No, it makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
All right, Lee, hit us.
Okay, I would say my gay synopsis is Clint Barton babysits a baby gay through what I assume is a Ritalin-fueled Christmas-themed coming-out journey.
Yes.
That's what I saw.
All of that was on screen.
That's what I watched. Kate Bishop is like if you merged her and Pizza Dog, they just become the dog in Up, right? Like that's basically that's the vibe of what's happening. It's just like
I also just
squirrel.
feel like
No,
Hailee...
that's a tracksuit wearing mobster. Like, and she's like, okay, gotta get him, gotta get him, gotta get him,
gotta shoot him.
Yeah, it's that.
So true. What were our experiences? Where should we start, Lee? Do you want to do Settlers rules? We'll go back the other way.
Okay, sure. Does that mean we start with me?
You start,
okay.
And then I'll go, and then we'll go all the way back.
My experience is I gave up on the MCU so long ago, so I am not super up to date with stuff. I remember when Hawkeye came out and everybody was talking about Kate Bishop and Yelena, and like I was there for it. But I have not caught a whole lot of Marvel stuff in the last decade, probably. I don't even know. Because it just it was like too much to keep up with. And I was like, I don't have time for this. So anyways, I was excited to be like an excuse to watch this. And I watched it in the last week. And what a good time. Listen, I enjoy everyone who's in this. I have no complaints. Like, no complaints. What a great time. That was my experience.
The casting is epic.
The casting is great. Just great all around. Super here for it.
Yes. So my personal experience, I have seen probably most of the MCU at this point. I feel like I have not missed a lot of it, but majority because my girlfriend is obsessed. I enjoy it. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure. If you're going to watch it, I will sit and watch it with you. But like every new show that comes out, she's like, we're watching it. And I'm like, okay. So I watched this as it came out. And I almost like forgot that I had watched it, and then I rewatched it, and I was like, "Oh, I remember this," because I really remembered.
There you go.
The Yelena of it all, which I do have. We'll get into it. I have some thoughts about Yelena. I don't know how much you all have researched this online, because there's such complex discourse around Yelena as a character that I find fascinating. That I just dove into this time around, because the first time I just was like, oh, I watched it and like they're hot and I like that they're flirting, and then I dove more into like the depths of it this time, so that was fun. Yeah. What about you, Theora?
I think Kaitlynn.
No, we gotta go back. We're going to Kaitlynn.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, Kaitlynn. I'm so sorry, Kaitlynn.
It's okay. During the pandemic, I started my MCU journey. Never seen Actually, I think Captain Marvel was my first MCU movie in the theater.
That's very gay of
That's
you.
good.
That's very, very gay of you.
You know, I don't remember what year that came out, but I don't know if I was out yet. So, you know, if I wasn't watching that, I definitely should have been. 2019, no, I was out. I was still
no excuse.
Very baby gay. Anyway, so I went through like the order, like the timeline. I found a photo and like I went through every movie. For Hawkeye, I watched it immediately. I love Hailee. Hailee is a comedic genius, and I'm still pissed off with Pitch Perfect 3 and how dirty they did her, because she had like 2 lines and was just... Anyway, that's a whole nother rant. But as soon as Yelena came into the screen, I was like, okay, yeah, this is... I mean, I knew it was amazing beforehand, but like this is everything. And I thought she was in it a lot more than she was. I was really surprised watching it again. I thought she was in it from the very beginning.
I agree with you so much, because I was like, wait, the first 4 episodes even, I was like, wait, what was gay about this? And then I was like, oh shit. I mean, like, obviously Kate Bishop as a character by herself, but I was dying laughing when I had a very similar revelation to you.
Yeah, I was watching, I was like,
I was like, wait,
I thought this was queer. Then I watched it again.
Thought it was all about Yelena. Yeah. It's not her movie. No. It's not her TV show, surprisingly. Anything else about your experience?
I enjoy the comedy. Like, that's what draws me to these things. Comedy, and if there's female lead, that's the main MCU things that I watch.
We like a short list, just like easy requirements. Okay, now Theora, now we're ready.
Yeah, now.
Hit us.
All right, my experience. So I watched this the old-fashioned way, where I saw GIFs of Hailee and Florence staring at each other on a rooftop and was like, how do I watch this? What is this? And then went back and watched Hawkeye, like, quote, as it was airing. It was over, and I found the GIFs and was like, I get it now. And then, because I'm not super into the MCU, partly because there's too many things.
There's a lot of things.
There's so many things. And at this point, I'm like, what even is the lore? I don't even know. Just give me this one thing. I'll watch it by itself and enjoy it. And so I found this to be like a very good, like, contained story, which was really nice.
Okay. But even then, and I will say, because I am like a extremely online person, right? And so I'm like, I'm not unaware of a lot of the stuff around many of the movies. Like, I have kind of a general gist of a lot of stuff. Like, I knew what the blip was. I know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
They call back to so many things. Because I watch this basically on my own, because usually my wife has to sit through all of the things that we have to watch for Should Have Been Gay. But I was like, I don't think we're going to have time to watch this, like, at night. Like, I'll find time to watch it on, like, my commutes and stuff. So I watched it by myself, and she was like, oh, but I love Hailee Steinfeld. Like, I would watch that with you. And I was like, let me watch it and I'll tell you. Because my wife is not an extremely online person at all. And I could tell you my wife knows not a single thing that has happened in the MCU since the first Avengers movie came out, right? I'm not even sure she saw Avengers. I think she saw one of the Iron Mans. So, like, we'd be running on nothing, right? Like, we'd be going on absolutely no backstory. And I'm like, there is a lot of, like, the trauma around Natasha's death, and, like, the whole thing where, like, that whole scene when Yelena's in the bathroom, I'm like, this would be tricky to explain, actually, to somebody who has no context for, like, anything that is happening. You're like, why did she just dissolved into dust, and now the walls are a different color, and, like, what happened? And now they're like, it's 5 years later, and no one seems weirded out by this at all.
There's a child.
Like, yeah. I'm like, that actually requires some knowledge. Why the musical is so funny requires, like, some knowledge, right? Like, to go into it. I mean, I agree. I think they did as well as they could with what they had to work with in terms of, like, the existing...
The, like, Thanos was right everywhere.
Well, just, like...
Also.
Yeah. Just in terms of, like, the existing lore, like, I think they tried to keep it as self-contained as you could, but it is hard. It's still hard. Like, there were still things where I was like, oh, wow, I feel like I kind of get it, but...
I have to say, I don't know anything about Hawkeye's backstory. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention when he was on the screen or what I missed, but I don't know.
Like, Jeremy, who was in this? What?
Wait, so you're saying you still don't know after watching Hawkeye, or you didn't know while you were watching
I didn't know while. I got what we watched in Hawkeye, but how they got there... Okay. How I'm really confused by, like, I thought he and Natasha were a thing, but he has a wife, and, like, that's a whole nother thing that I'll talk about later, but I just okay.
That's okay. But we don't need to dive into MCU lore, because we're here to talk about gay lore.
Yes.
Gay lore, not to be confused with gay lore.
No, but you know what? Okay, sorry. I wasn't going to go there, but since you said that, it's so funny because so many people with Tortured Poets Department have been making the same comparison to the MCU, where they're like, there's just too much lore now. Like, it's too much lore.
The Tortured Poets Department is just too straight. That is our review of that.
You heard it. You heard it here first, folks.
Too straight. All right, but let's dive in. So, which character should have been gay?
Oh God, yeah. Where do we want to start?
Before we just talk about that, can we just agree that there's a bunch of queers in that musical?
Oh my god.
Oh,
yes. Please.
Yeah. Which one do you think is the gayest in the musical? I feel like Captain America.
I was,
really
I was
the
gonna
gayest,
say
right?
Captain America with that hair and the little shield and his dancing and the
right? I don't know. Yeah, or like maybe the Hulk, like in a bear kind of way.
He's the repressed character. Like it symbolizes him breaking out of the closet when he breaks the boulder. You know, it's artistic.
Yes. Actually, we should have been gay on the Hulk, but that's for another day. But yes, everyone in that musical
Super gay.
So gay. I mean, that's just like a given.
The musical in general is just, it's not only gay in the fact that like that if you saw that on a stage, you'd be like, right, a solid 60 to 75% of these people are queer. But also in the fact that it is like so poking fun at Broadway and how extra and campy and over the top all musicals are, right? And like that's what I love. You know me, Ellie. I'm like, who wrote this? Like who sat down?
Wait, do you know?
No, I don't. I should look it up.
You didn't look it up?
I didn't have time. I finished this this morning, okay? Like I just did not have time. But I want to know who was given the task of like sitting down and having them be like, could you write a musical that is like believable but also insane that like this would exist in this universe? Because they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it, and I love it so much.
This says that the song was written by Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman. Do you know who they are?
They went hard on that musical number, though, and I love it so much. And you get to see it at the end, like, in full. It's amazing.
They did a whole number just for the laugh. The commitment.
I mean, honestly, like, there's nothing gayer than that.
Right.
No. Let's also just, like, we think Clint Barton is, like, the only straight person in this entire thing, right? Or do we not think he's straight?
I was clocking him as queer. I think there's something.
They did Hairspray, Ellie.
Oh, I love Hairspray.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. It's funny because I'm like, because he hates the musical, I'm like, straight. He's like, get me out of this musical. But also, I could see the other side. It's really he hates the musical because he has a lot of trauma.
It also just might not be his musical. Like, it's weird watching yourself, right?
He's strangely a Cats guy, and no one understands it, but there it is, you know?
Yes.
It's just...
Oh my God.
You can't delve into the psyche of Clint Barton too much, you know?
Okay, so if you do think that Clint Barton is queer, let's start there, because this is where we're starting. Why do you think Clint Barton is queer?
I was trying to figure this out. It's just something about him. I just look at him, and I'm just like, there's just
you just get a feeling.
There.
Okay, so your gaydar is just pink.
I don't
right?
have
it's
gaydar.
Just
like that's just an issue that I have.
Kaitlynn, what is the feeling then?
I don't know.
Wait,
explain.
Also, let's discuss more about you don't have gaydar. What do you mean by that?
Do you need blink twice if you need help?
Okay? Oh, I need a lot of help. I still feel like a baby gay. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, it's just
that's okay.
I'm just not good at
it's fair
reading people. Yeah, subtext. I'm really
okay.
bad.
Look,
subtext.
Caitlin, let's help. I have this haircut. I'm wearing this shirt.
Are those scissors?
Yes.
For the audience, this is a scissoring shirt.
Yes. These are the obvious clues, okay? And then we'll get into like the 201 classes. Like we'll get into more, like more, just subtle stuff.
Subtle.
I am doing better.
If you're in the middle of kissing them, they're gay.
I feel like this can turn into a whole different episode.
I know.
We're not going to promise it won't. Listen.
Theora, do you read Clint as queer?
I didn't. I also read him as like the one straight guy in the room. That was my read on him. His wife is another story, but like he was the one straight guy I saw.
I feel like Clint could have bi-wife energy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That feels right.
Absolutely.
He's an ally.
Because he is
one of his kids is going to come out eventually, and like
I do feel like that's why he takes care. Yeah.
He's going to be like flagging it up at the parade. Just.
Oh yeah, number one dad. He gives that vibe.
Yeah,
I love my gay son shirt, kind of deal.
Yes.
But which one of those
Nathaniel,
sons?
we all know it.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know their names, but
I know the youngest. His name is Nathaniel, and he's gay.
because he's gay.
He's gay. He was into that musical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did not want to leave.
He didn't want to leave.
No. That is so funny. Yeah, to me, I'm like ally. Like he definitely like when he reluctantly takes Kate under his wing. Like there's some nice moments towards the end, where he's like, we're partners and blah blah blah. But I do feel like he gives off very much like dad of a queer teen who's like, oh, you're also like my kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's what I think is the gayest thing about Clint, Ellie. If I was gonna argue for Clint being queer, I think his gayest thing about him is the self-hatred. That man has some baggage. I'm serious. He is
that
like
literally
that,
hit me in the heart.
That whole scene at the end with Yelena where he's like, you can just tell. He's like, I should have died. Like, I don't deserve to be here. And like, I don't know, that whole experience feels very gay to me for not the best reasons, but it's there.
Yeah, not good reasons. Not good reasons.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for things, okay, that's what I have.
The vengeance.
This is what I have to
maybe.
offer.
We can always make someone gay. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think the thing
We'll
is,
figure out
I
a way.
just want everyone to be queer, and that's why I said that he's stealthy queer, because, like, you wouldn't know it, but, he's just down. He's just, I think that he was in a throuple with Natasha, Lara, and him.
It would
to be
explain
fair-
a lot about why he's like, no, I don't want people to pay attention to me. I don't want a new branding. I don't want a flashy superhero outfit that makes me look a little flamboyant, if you know what I mean, right? Like, I'm just saying, I think it explains a lot. And then
He's
he
trying
accepts
to stay in
himself
the
and he's like,
closet.
yes, I can wear purple. Here I am. I'm proud. Anyways,
Wow.
I've come
I
full
like that
circle on this. He's gay.
He's gay.
I like the throuple idea too, because that explains why Linda Cardellini was cast as his wife, because she's constantly playing queer icons
Yes.
in everything she's in.
Mhm.
So I feel like if you just dig into her backstory for like 5 seconds, you're gonna find something rainbow in there.
Yes.
I'm honestly impressed we haven't heard Ellie talk more about that casting yet.
about my face.
Yes.
About Velma.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes. About Judy.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
don't even say the name Judy. It will hurt my heart. But yes, Linda Cardellini. I just want her to be like, she's not in it enough. That's
No.
why. That's
I
why.
agreed.
Right? It's like, why do we only get a phone call?
That whole
Why is
like-
she not in a superhero outfit? That's what we want
Yeah.
to know.
her role is very weird,
Yeah.
because they're just using her as a phone call, and I'm like, they at least one scene that was not a phone call, because every
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess at the end, but I mean, her plot point was just give her something more.
It's a waste of
I
her
know.
talent.
It really was.
I know.
It really was. But they did set her up to have like her own series at some point, right? Like, where is that, Disney? Where is that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, give it to us.
Seriously.
Because in general, she's not used enough in
No.
the entire MCU.
I have
No, I
a
agree.
question. What was that watch? Because I don't understand why the watch was relevant.
I looked this up as a non-MCU person, and apparently it is supposed to be the reveal that she is someone called Mockingbird, who also appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but was a different person. So maybe there's a new Mockingbird in the MCU, but it has gone nowhere yet. So you're welcome for this tidbit brought to you by Google.
Thank you. And
Great. I had no clue until
Yeah.
right
I
now.
had no
either,
idea.
So
I looked it up because I was like, is this a thing I'm supposed to know already thanks to the
Right.
MCU that I don't know? And the answer is no. So there you go, everyone.
great. All right. So Clint also, okay, one more thing for Clint. He also gives me like, I think the closet part is interesting because when he goes LARPing,
Mm.
I feel like he likes it, but he doesn't want to say he likes it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, that's, I feel like a baby or like pre-gay kind of person, like who's in a space that they're like, oh, like this is so weird and like not my, like this is like a thing that like only people who are different do. Like that's such a strange thing. And then he's like, wait, but these are my people. So I feel like that was an interesting little thing in there. And then add on top of it that Kate Bishop also is like getting in with the LARPers. Like the LARPers are really a heavy piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Theora, I feel like you have thoughts on the LARPing of it all.
Yes.
I could see you just like going.
I'm with you. Just like the metaphor of it, it's like, okay, I come as I am in the world, and then I put on this costume and get to be my true self. It's just a metaphor for coming out if I ever saw one. And I feel like the play, there has to be a bunch of queerness that's unexplored in the LARPers.
Yeah.
Because
there also
how
is
could there not
canonical.
be?
Yeah.
And we also
queerness.
Yes. Yeah, we have at least one queer person who has a wife, Wendy, and like, where's the wife?
Is that the only canon queer in the series? Because that feels
in the series,
like in this show, like in
like
Hawkeye. Is that the only canon queer person that we meet? Because that feels like kind of a letdown.
I think,
I'll be
but
honest.
the MCU does this all the fucking time.
Yeah,
like where they're like, we put a gay character in, and you're like,
it's the extra that's here for 5 seconds.
yeah.
They're like, we put a gay character in, and the gay character is like the barista who made their coffee that, on their way to a battle or something.
Yes.
He was making a latte and he had a pride pin on. Like, I don't know how we could make it any clearer,
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of him and his husband like behind the bar. Anyways, that's fine.
Yeah, they love like a secret, like a side piece gay. Yeah. But we still are here for the wife.
When I was
rewatching,
I did not realize that she said my wife made me this bag. And so I got to the very last episode and I'm just looking at her. I'm like, there's gotta be something queer going on with you. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, oh shit.
And that's why your gaydar is off. She literally said she had a wife. You're like, nah, something else. It's gotta be something.
I did, but it's because I looked at your notes
there with like a magnifying glass going over the screen, just being like, "What could it be?"
Literally so funny.
It's like I don't know why in my head it's just like Jack Skellington trying to figure out Christmas, right? Like you're just there being like, I don't know, there's something that I'm not quite getting, but what?
That's the story of my life.
It's okay. I think it's very relatable.
I hope so.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, so those are a few of our like side kind of. Well, Clint, I wouldn't say is a side character, but let's dive in to our biggest gay, Kate Bishop. What are our thoughts?
Yeah, who wants to kick us off?
So Theora and Kaitlynn, you both suggested this particular should have been gay, correct?
Yes,
it was all Kaitlynn.
So
what made you like really want to suggest this one?
The mac and cheese scene.
Yes.
That's
like, I might not know what's gay, but I went out and bought hot sauce, and I think this has something to do with it, okay?
That scene, though, like,
I know how to flirt now.
Yes. I've seen
hot sauce.
Yelena is a flirting queen.
Oh my god.
She's so good at that character.
She's so good.
I mean, she's just an incredible actress in general, but like that particular character is so specific.
Yeah.
Like that scene between the two of them is like a masterclass in acting, first of all.
Yeah.
But also just a masterclass in gayness.
Yes.
And subtext.
Oh, see, that's why I had trouble. In general, I just paid attention to the comedy.
It's
like subtext, but also text. Did anyone write down what they're talking about in that scene?
Mac and cheese and Kate Bishop's history. I don't know what else there is, right?
No, they're also talking about, well, it starts with Yelena being like, it's my first time in town. Where should I go, Kate? Like, tell me where to go.
Do you know any gay bars in town? Like, where would you go? Like, where would you go out to drink?
Right. You should take me with you there.
Yeah.
It's like, I made you dinner, sweetie.
My God. And then dinner, yeah.
Yeah, Yelena U-Haul's like no other. She's like, I'm here. I made macaroni. Do you want macaroni? It's delicious. Have some macaroni. I know everything about you.
Doesn't she say something about having a Sex in the City fantasy?
No, okay,
that's
so
is that here?
That's during the flashback.
Okay.
So that is, I have a note about this. The Anna or whoever she goes and like tries to release from being a Black Widow, they're talking about how she's going to go off and live her Sex in the City life with Natasha. So now I think that she can go live her Queer in the City life with Hailee. Kate, that's the name.
Yes. I know. I love how
Yeah.
like you can't ever call her Kate. It's like always
It's
Hailee.
a problem.
Yes. I also would like to mention about the like Yelena backstory of like her entire like life's work at this point that we see is like must unbrainwash women.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's super important for me.
I was gonna talk about that.
To break the spell of like the patriarchy, heteronormativity, like whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
On these other women. She's
a fucking sleeper agent gay who's just like, magic dust in your face. Wake up, gays. And you're like, okay. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it's even funnier because if you look at that opening scene when she does try to like, you know, sort of magic that one woman out, and that woman's like, what did you think? I was just like captive here to this man? And Yelena's like, yes, literally nothing else makes sense. Why would you marry a man? I don't understand. Make it make sense, right? Like she cannot wrap her head around it. She's like, no, I blew the gay dust at you. You're supposed to like open your eyes now in a whole new world, right? Like
a whole new world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew you were gonna do that. Well played.
Wait, Theora, did you also have notes on that particular part?
No, I didn't have notes on that particular part, but I had another scene I'd like to talk
hit
about.
us.
All right. So the thing that really sucked me into the show, besides finding the gifs of women staring at each other, was everything like leading up to that part. So there's a scene where basically in my mind, I was like, oh, a parallel's happening where Clint and Kate are having their like Christmas time together. And Kate asks Clint, what's the best shot you ever took? And he replies, the one I didn't take. And then when we fast forward to the rooftop later, it's like the moment is playing out with Kate where she has the opportunity to shoot Yelena, who's trying to kill them all, and then doesn't. And then like fast forward to them on a date eating mac and cheese. I'm just like,
and
how is this not romantic?
And not
I don't
only that she
understand.
doesn't take the shot, she doesn't take the shot. All it takes is approximately like 3 centimeters of movement from Yelena, like shaking her head no. And Kate's like, okay. I guess I can't then. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. I mean, I guess I won't, right? Like she questions nothing. She's just like, I know you're trying to kill me, but you're pretty and blonde and you just gave me a little, don't, no, oh no, don't, right? And she's like, okay.
But why didn't Clint ask Kate why she didn't take the shot? Because he was just like fine with her letting her go.
No.
He has a queer son. He's like, I understand this behavior. Like, this is what happens.
All I'm going to say is their bedroom dynamic is explained 1000% in that one interaction, and that's all you need to watch to understand how the two of them are going to work down the line, okay? That's it.
Well said.
Yeah.
It's right there. That was subtext, Caitlin. That's how you read the
Thank
subtext.
you, Theora.
You're welcome.
We have learned things. We've learned new
so many things. It's new MCU
Incredible.
lore. There you go.
Listen, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to try to actually dive into Kate Bishop, who we already got derailed from right after this, which happens magically immediately in podcast world. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed, just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/Lez Hang Out today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lez Hang Out.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
I do have more to say about Yelena, though.
Yeah, we have to go
later.
back to Kate, and then we'll go.
And then we can go back to
or
Yelena. Okay.
you tell us, because this is your podcast. I need to stop producing.
No, it's okay. You're doing great. You're doing great.
We're diving back in. Ellie already told me I'm wrong, and she wants to talk more about Yelena. So I'm gonna let her do. Listen, I'm not here. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not the police.
Just because I do think
Ellie.
I just do think this is really important to talk about if we're gonna talk about Yelena. So, talking about MCU lore, but there's also the comic books and everything, right? So in the comics, Yelena is it's hard to quite decipher. It's sort of canon, but it's there's a fine line between if it's canon or not. Okay, but most people believe that Yelena is Arrow and Ace.
Okay.
Right. So there's a lot of discourse online about, and you can also sort of see that. I do think in the show they didn't.
Oh, she played
make
into
her that?
Like, I mean, or at least she just likes flirting.
Or I don't know if we are also just reading into it because she's hot. And she is played by Florence Pugh.
I feel like I could read Arrow.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd have to go back now and watch because I didn't know that watching the series. And I don't know if, am I projecting the sensuality onto her?
Yes.
Because she's pretty to look at. It's hard to say. She feels very flirtatious to me.
Well, and because there's a lot of chemistry, I think, between her, Florence Pugh, and Hailee Steinfeld
so much chemistry. It's problematic.
Because people were shipping them together, there's been a lot of discourse online about it, of like, there are not a lot of asexual characters, obviously, like, in anything.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot of people who are like,
or Arrow characters. There's basically none of either category.
Yes. But there's like a whole part, that people even in the comics, people were saying like, oh, maybe she's a lesbian, right? Yeah, people think she's a lesbian in the comics, and also the way her hair is like really gay in the comics. And so there's a thing where like Natasha asks her if she's a lesbian, and she says, "No, I'm not a lesbian. I'm not anything." And so people take that and read that as like she is Arrow ace. So I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. What do we think about that?
There's also, so I looked into this too. There was an interview with one of the comic writers, Devin Grayson, who in an interview said that Yelena would identify as asexual. Not the aromantic part wasn't included. So like for me, I can kind of see that from her, because she even the way Florence plays her, it's very like caged when it comes to emotions a lot of the time. Like, yeah, there's like some flirty banter that's like bubbly, but that could be like in a friendly way, whatever. So maybe the romantic aspect isn't there, or necessarily, but I can kind of see it, and that's a spectrum too. So like,
well, that's what I was gonna say. You could be ace and fucking love flirting. Because I'm sorry, but there's that one conversation that they're having while they're like beating the shit out of each other in the finale, and like
that scene,
and but there's that thing where like Kate's desperately trying to get her like off of Clint, right? And she's like, let's just go out, like let's just go get a drink. And Yelena's like, yeah, of course, right? And she's like, great, let's go. And she's like, after I kill Clint. Like, she's not dissuaded at all. She's not like, oh, you were only trying to do this to distract me. Like, how dare you? No, she's like, yeah, like, I would absolutely love to take you out after I kill this man. Great. Like, totally down for, like, she's up to go out. She's clearly into it. Like, she's returning the energy that's being put out there is all I'm saying. So I could see, she might be ace. That's perfectly valid. I don't think there's an invalid way to read her.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think also the point of us talking about It Should Have Been Gay is like, you could read these characters however you really want to, right? Like, there are plenty of people who are canonically straight that we read as gay. So like, but I did feel like it was really important because it's like something that a lot of people have been talking about, and good amount of the asexual community has been like pushing back against people putting them in a ship.
They don't like that we're shipping Kate and Yelena together. And both sides have good arguments, but I mean, we don't want to erase the asexual representation, especially when there's not that much. We are given what we're given. We're given a lot of great looks between the two.
Yes, we really are. Yeah. Also, I would like to say one other thing in that scene when they are like fighting with each other. Kate says to Yelena, "Stop making me like you."
Yeah.
That was it. Was over for me.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else? So I'm sorry to go here, Ellie, because I feel like the other parallel that I really saw between her and Kate that I know you'll appreciate as I explain my thinking to you. So, Kaitlynn and Theora, or anyone listening who might not be aware, a couple years ago, Ellie and I did our first podcast musical that was called The Flame. And The Flame, one of the main characters, Ellie's love interest in the show, is a character named Sam. And Sam has a lot of baggage because she never came out to her father before he died. Okay? And I'm just saying, you have Yelena Romanoff, who is like just carrying this immense pain and weight and hurt since her sister died, right? Because she lost 5 years and like maybe just didn't get to tell her sister all of the things about herself and who she is. And then you have Kate Bishop, whose father died when she was still a child, maybe didn't fully understand her identity, and she doesn't want to change who she is now that she's growing up into adulthood. So I'm just saying, like, there were some things about that kind of parallel that I was like, feels familiar is all. That's what jumped out at me.
I can see it. Okay, now we can talk about Kate. I'm sorry.
Good, I'll segue us over to our tiny little gay Kate Bishop because, oh man. Oh man. Tell me our thoughts about Kate Bishop, or Kaitlynn, whoever feels like most strongly in their heart.
Theora's first point is, again, we're bringing it full circle that I don't read into things. Like, I didn't even clock the tuxedo.
It's episode 1, Kaitlynn.
I know.
It's episode 1.
I know.
Wear the dress I put out, like, wear the dress that matches mine. And she's like, fucking suit, Mom. What?
I didn't get it.
She already had the suit.
She had that suit.
Yeah.
That's not an off the rack
so
suit.
good.
Like, let's be real. That is bespoke.
And like, watch her wear the suit. She's clearly worn this suit before because she knows how to, like, the hands in the pocket. She knew all the body language to wear.
She has a
that
whole conversation with an elderly man about how he's like, stop looking better in a suit than me. Wear a dress next time. And she's like, I will not, sir. I am a lesbian. That's the quote, right? I think that's what she says.
It sounds about right.
That's the exact quote, yeah.
I remember that line of dialogue. It stuck in there pretty sharply.
I feel like, okay, just like before she even, okay, so she puts the suit on, right? All that stuff. But like, rewind to a young Kate Bishop. Obviously, her father died. She's like, I need to learn how to protect myself. But like, the enthusiasm and like obsession with which she does that is gay. Like, I feel like gay people, for the majority, like, I've said this in many other should have been gays, but like, you know, neurodivergence and queerness like make a beautiful love sandwich, you know, like, this is
love sandwich. Say more.
I don't know. I've never said that exact phrase, but that's what you get when you get me after 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
So I feel like
Ellie, do a shot, quick.
Okay, so I feel like the obsession with which she does it, like, queer people just have skills because we get obsessed with things.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, like, no straight person could be as good at all of the things that she's good at. That's just...
It's the gay
that's
audacity. It's the gay audacity.
She's like, I'm a young gay person, and so I have to be better than everyone else.
She's like, I can do the bow and gymnastics and martial arts and fencing. And fencing and everything. Yeah. Makes sense.
So that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
And she has the confidence to say, I am the best archer in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
She also has that.
To Hawkeye.
To Hawkeye. Who later agrees with her.
In the first scene we see, who are those people that she's showing off for? Do we ever see them again?
Just random girls. Random girls she has to show off for.
I was like, who are these people? Why are they relevant?
I really feel like she was trying to sleep with them, and then she broke the thing, and she's like, fuck.
Damn. Can't afford that date now. My credit cards are gone.
Exactly. She's like, I was going to look so cool for these girls. And then she screwed it up. Yeah. And if that's not a chaos gay, like, I don't know what is.
Yeah. You know what else I think is gay about Kate Bishop? It's a little bit of like a meta, slightly meta take on the whole situation. But I feel like the fact that she doesn't seem to have like a clear distinction between like bad guys and herself. Like, I feel like she's a gay who was raised on like just years and years of like Disney villain gayness, you know, where she's like, I get that you have me tied up here, but like, let's talk about your girlfriend. And like, maybe there's some communication issues because like, it's okay. We're all people, right? I feel like she just doesn't see it. She's like, yeah, like evil is gay. I see it. I get it. Like, that's sure. Just like me.
Oh my God. We haven't even talked about the freaking leader of the
Maya? I was
Czech
assuming we were
mafia.
getting there. Are we not getting there?
Oh my God, Maya is so gay.
I mean, the leather says it,
But
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Motorcycle.
You're getting it.
You're better at fighting than all the men. Just the same complex as Kate.
Listen,
She's
Kaitlynn,
just
we
humble
might
about
only
it.
have an hour, but we're making great strides here, and we're
progress in
really
today's
we're
session.
rooting for you. Okay. Yes, the leather and motorcycle are very clear signs of Maya's rampant homosexuality.
Also, that man is her cousin, right? Like, they're not.
They don't
right?
clearly explain that relationship.
I feel like he's like her guardian or something after the dad dies, like through work. He's like the work dad. He's like, I guess this is my kid
He
now.
does not seem old enough to be a guardian.
I didn't say he was a good one or he should be her guardian.
Yeah.
I think
he is there.
Maybe he was just someone there, and she's like, okay, I lost my father. You're better than no one. He probably has some feelings for her, but she's like, no.
I think he has feelings for her, and she is clearly ignoring them. Just like pointedly not picking up what he's putting down at every turn.
I think
Until he gets
everyone who comes across Kate, if they weren't queer, they didn't realize they were queer, they do now. Like, they're like, oh, something else is going on.
So you think Maya had a revelation when she met Kate? Like, you don't think she knew?
I'm not sure she might
Until
have,
before.
but like in my brain.
Kate's just flipping everyone.
But her being in Kate's sphere, you're like, oh, now she,
Well, no, I feel
now I
like
see it.
Kate would make her more like think of herself, because she was too focused on the mission beforehand to really dive into what she wants. So like she probably knew, but she's like, I'm not going to act on it. I am too focused. Like, this is the job. This is what I need to do. But Kate's carefree spirit, I think, gets everyone to not be so focused on the mission that they have time to really think and open up to the queer of it all.
Yes.
Yeah, Kate's a real
I see
chaos
that.
gay in this, you know? It's like no one can stay on task.
No.
I relate to her.
They have to be confronted with their gayness. Yeah. You feel like you're a chaos gay?
I just definitely can't stay on track of anything.
Understandable. Yeah, no, she's hilarious. She's perfect. Like, the character is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so gay. Yeah, it's so gay.
Okay, any other characters, any other last points we need to call out before we do our ships? What do we think?
What about the fiance?
Oh, okay.
Jack?
Jack
Oh.
is...
That mustache. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially watching
Do we feel
it
like he's trying to beard
again. I think he just really doesn't know.
He does seem pretty clueless like Kate, like where he's just like a kid in a candy store all the time and it's like, ooh, that's shiny. And just, you need to put the mirror in front of him and be like, sir, confront your inner homosexuality, please.
I think he's gonna
He's
go
obsessed with
LARPing.
swords.
He's gonna go LARPing and get super into it. And he's gonna start spending a lot more time with grills.
Agreed.
That's what
Yeah.
I think.
I read Grills as like a pansexual king. He gives me those vibes. So like I would like to see those two. Spend more time together.
Yeah.
I would be down for a sword fight between Grills and Jack.
To
I
be
could see
fair,
it.
Jack would slaughter him.
Absolutely. It wouldn't end well, but there'd be flirting before it happened.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So back to Kate real quick. I just want to point out that when her mom is cleaning off her cut, it just gave me the strong vibes from Winona Earp, the dudes dig
Oh,
stars.
yeah.
And like she would say, like, do chicks.
I just Russian assassins.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
that's the vibes I gave.
Yeah, do Russian assassins.
Weirdly specific
yes.
daughter of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly what you're talking about right now.
And her mom's like, "That's weird. I
yes.
just hired one of those. She's hot."
Didn't know how
Damn
hot
it.
she was. Fuck.
So it's her mom's fault.
I screwed up.
It might be her mom's
Aren't the
fault.
Black Widows supposed to be hot though, or is that just because they just keep casting hot
It's just
people
because
as
they're
Black
women.
Widows?
It's like, well, they can destroy you if they wanted
Yeah.
to, like, inherently.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can't imagine any Black
Exactly.
Widow would not be hot. But just from the
Yeah.
nature of the beast, you're right. You're right. But yes, we got a lot of gayness. A lot of gayness throughout this series.
I'm hoping we get more in
So-
the universe itself.
I hope so too.
Have you
It's
seen
like,
the Marvels?
Yes. Did they make it? I feel like they didn't make it gay. Did they?
It's the ending. So like the end credit scene.
Okay.
So no, that's not gay.
Wait, I don't.
It's not gay. But is it okay if I spoil this for
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, yes.
I saw it and I forgot what happened. So just tell me.
basically, Kamala goes and finds Kate Bishop and is recruiting her to join the Young Avengers.
Oh.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah,
basically, she's talking about like the whole new generation of the Avengers. But in my head, I'm just like the queer Avengers. So they're just gonna create a whole queer
Gay
superhero team,
Avengers.
and that's
Get
all I can
Yelena
think about.
in that shit.
Yes, and like
yes,
there's so many, and apparently the Maximoff kids are in the comics are queer. One's bisexual. I forget what the other one is. But either way, there's a lot of queerness and possibilities, and I would like the Queer Avengers, even if it's just a spinoff.
I'm so in for that. I'm trying to see who are the Young Avengers.
There's
Kate Bishop,
Ant-Man's daughter. There's a lot actually, but none that are confirmed.
Captain Marvel. Well, we'll just have to see if they finally make somebody full on gay and not just a random side.
There
character.
was
Not
some. I say subtext as I don't understand it, but I know people were talking about how the Marvels was a little queer. But that's not this episode, so.
Well, Captain Marvel is also queer, but it was all subtext.
Yeah.
They really
It was all
really
subtext.
brushed over that one.
Like you're living with another woman and her
Right.
raising her child.
That's like gay.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking gay.
Yeah.
They're best friends. That's all. So dumb.
So
But it's okay.
So for Hawkeye, who are we shipping?
Okay, let's all pick one, right? Kaitlynn, you can start.
Oh, great. All right, I came
Who's
up
your top ship?
to the top one is, I mean, like Kate and Yelena. I know.
Do it.
I don't want to erase
Do it,
the
Kaitlynn.
asexual
Go
in
for
this, but
No.
Okay, give
do
us
it.
us a ship name. They probably already have
They
one.
have
I
it.
don't know it.
they have Google and AO3 says Bashova, but
Okay.
Theora has different names for them.
Do it. Give it.
All
to
right,
us,
my other
please.
favorite one. I can't. A friend of mine can't give me this one because I think it's funny. So it's for Hawkeye and Black Widow, the shows that they're in and the movies they're in. Their ship name is Black Eye,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yes.
Yes. Love it. Okay.
Beautiful.
Anyone else that you would also ship, Theora? Another ship you want to
Absolutely. I want to give credit to Wendy Conrad, the queer woman in this show, and her wife, and their ship.
Yes,
Their ship
and
name
her
is
wife.
Mrs. and Mrs. Bombshell in honor of that bag.
Yes.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes, the bag. I forgot.
She's so proud of it. It's so cute.
I know. And to be fair, I do feel bad for saying like a side character because that character I did love her.
Yeah, she was great. She was great.
She was great, but like she's not the protagonist. We know this. She's the
Right.
protagonist in our hearts, but
Okay,
God
Ellie.
damn
Ellie,
it.
who would you ship?
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Kate and Maya.
Mm.
Hashtag Kaya.
That's a good one.
Yes, I love it. She
I
could take
know.
her on a ride
Yeah,
on
I
a
feel-
motorcycle.
Right? I just feel like
Dykes
do feel
on
like
bikes. Come on.
I vibe what you're saying too, Lee, where like I do feel like Kate Bishop is like a little bit of an anti-hero kind of.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she would date a villain and be like, yeah, I'm with a villain.
And
Like, they're hot.
I think that could be a fun dynamic for them because she would have to learn sign language.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
God, actually, it would be so funny because she talks so
Yes,
much.
this is what I'm saying. Like,
word she said.
I feel like it would be a really funny
funny.
dynamic, like especially because we already saw the whole episode where Clint basically like didn't have his hearing aid the whole time, and she's just still talking endlessly like the whole time. I feel like that they could do a lot. The comedy of that could go far, is all. So
I agree. All right, what about you, Lee?
okay, I'm gonna have to put out there, just because we just talked about it, I think Jack and Grills could have a real fun ship name, or a real fun relationship. Ship name I would put out there is Jills. Greg? They don't get better.
Greg's the obvious choice. But.
Yeah, there you go. Those are our ships. Important
Perfect.
takeaway, I think Hawkeye should have been gay.
Yep.
Should have been gay. All right. Are we ready? We're going to go into our Q and gay. So we're going to ask you some multiple choice or yes or no questions. Here we go.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. Who's your favorite villain in Hawkeye? A, Maya, B, Yelena, C, Eleanor, or D, Tomas?
Yeah, tracksuit Tomas. Come on. Listen, bro.
Well, not Eleanor.
Really? You don't like the mom? All right, I'm going with Yelena.
Eleanor's got to be in there for the hot older women
yes.
gays who are going to like what they
No,
like
the
regardless,
minute-
okay?
The minute she said to Kate, "Is this what heroes do? Arrest their mothers on Christmas?"
Yeah.
I knew she was a
Oh my
narcissistic
girl, what?
bitch.
Done.
Okay?
Yeah, no,
that
was
that
messed up.
line,
I was
back
with
that
her
up
up until
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, no, she
Yeah.
was great beforehand, but no.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-mm.
Yelena is my answer.
So not your favorite. Okay, so Yelena's the favorite.
Yelena, yeah. I
Is
mean,
Yelena also your favorite, Kaitlynn?
but like Maya's so great, but I don't.
Is she?
There's
a
something
villain?
about
Is
Yelena,
she a
just her
villain?
line delivery, the comedic
Well, that
timing.
I also should say villain is in quotation marks on the villain on the question.
Tracksuit Tomas never did a single thing wrong, and I won't hear any slander about him.
I do feel like the villains in this are are
Yes.
funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
comical.
Question 2. A question that really doesn't need to be asked, but I feel like we need
That's an easy
to put it
answer.
up for the poll. Pizza dog or Lucky?
Pizza dog. Yeah.
Pizza dog. I was so passionate about that.
Yes.
I started this thing with that.
It is.
It's an important question. Really is. All right. Question number 3. Who needs a spinoff more? A, Yelena, or B, Laura Barton?
Laura Barton. Yelena has Black Widow. She already has stuff.
Yeah, Yelena does already
Laura
have her own.
Can they all be in it? Can they both be in it
Can
somehow?
they have to spin off
And
together?
put Kate back in it.
I mean, yeah,
Put all
if you do Laura
put
Barton,
Kate-
Yelena's gonna show up.
Yelena, Maya does some guest appearances as well. Just put all the women in it.
There you go.
Oh, did we ship Laura with anyone or no?
Well,
We
I
didn't,
did.
but we could have.
We did.
The throuple.
Yeah, the throuple.
The
I did
throuple.
come up with a name for them.
Okay.
Okay.
So Clint, Laura, and Natasha are Natarant or Clarasha.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I like Clarasha. I love a throuple ship
I
name
know
because they're always
they're
so
always
long.
so chaotic.
Yeah.
That's what I did
Okay.
at 6 a.m. By the way.
Ruffle names. Nice.
Great.
Very good use of your
Yeah.
time.
Question 4. What's the gayest thing in Hawkeye? A. Kate's suit. B. The LARPers. C. Jack. Or D. The musical.
That's hard.
What was the question again?
What's the
What's the
gayest,
gayest
thing in
thing?
Hawkeye?
The gayest and the hottest thing are two different things.
Are they though?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they though?
Are they really?
All right.
I mean,
I know what you're gonna pick now, so I'll pick the suit. What are you gonna pick, Kaitlynn?
I want to pick the suit.
Yeah.
But just like, I know that musical is really queer.
It's very gay.
Yeah.
If Kate
Very
wore the
gay.
suit to the musical, that would be the answer.
Yes.
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 Unfortunately, we did not.
It's too
That
long
would
an answer.
just if that started the
Oh
whole,
my gosh.
It's
series,
over.
it would have been
The end credit scene
Yeah.
should have been the two of them going to see the musical and like Kate
Oh my
being really
God.
into
Kate
it.
singing every line and Clint just turning his thing off. Yeah, that would have been so
also,
accurate.
we had Hailee Steinfeld, and she didn't sing. That's also a missed opportunity.
No.
Yes, she should have got on stage.
Disappointing.
Oh, like she interrupts the
That's
Broadway
okay.
performance. Was like, "Little Hawkeye," and I get a solo now.
Yes, she would. All right, final question. What trick arrow are you? A, magnetic arrow, B, acid arrow, C, zipline arrow, or D, purple gas arrow?
What does the purple gas do? Because if it confuses you, I'm that one.
Honestly, that's a good one.
That's it.
I'll go with zipline arrow. Just like, this is a sticky situation and I'm leaving. Goodbye. I get
Yeah,
out.
the
I gotta
exit
get out.
plan.
Yeah.
You gotta have an exit plan
Right.
gay, you know? That's
But
important.
is it the one where you get stuck?
Sometimes it is. And that's terrifying because I don't like heights.
Oh, yeah.
So brave of you.
I know.
So brave of you to choose your fear. Love it. Well, that is it for Q and Gay. Listeners, remember you can answer them on our Twitter at Lez Hang Out Pod. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank
This
you.
has been so fun.
This was super, super fun.
Let our listeners know, where can they find you? Where can they find your podcast? Where can they follow you on all of the things?
You want me to do this one, Caitlin?
Okay.
You already have the spiel.
I mean, you can if you... Yeah,
You're
I
ready.
do this in
Go
every
for it.
episode. So you can find all of our information on biggayenergypod.com. We're on social media, basically every single platform. Like, it's ridiculous. We have too many to keep up with. At Big Gay Energy Pod. We also have a Patreon, so if you decide that you like our episodes and you want to come join us over there as well, everything on our website, on social media, just come find us. And if you found anything we said interesting in here and you want to just talk to us about it, reach out. We love talking to everybody.
Incredible. Well, we
Well
love talking to
done.
you, so thank you for discussing in depth why Hawkeye should have been gay with us.
So gay.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from you and building community, so we want to shout out some of our favorite things each episode. And the first thing we want to shout out is Brandy, who emailed us with a should have been gay suggestion for Tell It to the Bees. And she was telling us that in the book, the two women end up together, and in the movie, they end up breaking up. And somebody on the team for the movie said they broke them up at the end because it was historically accurate. And we just like to call bullshit on that. So we agree, Brandy. Thank you for sharing that with us, especially when you have Anna Paquin, who is bisexual, playing one of those characters. Like, huge missed opportunity. You are so correct. Also like to shout out some people on our Instagram. One of our more recent posts, actually from Alex Markman, who was on our Should Have Been Gay for Van Helsing, was talking about Kristen Stewart and how she's more Edward Cullen than Edward Cullen ever was, which we had a lot of great things to say on that post. Just wanted to say I agree. Kristen Stewart is really going through her vampire era right now, and we're here for it. As always, we'd like to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons,
Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
and Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much. We could not keep doing this show without all of your support and the support of all of our patrons.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up every week.
We're also posting videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show. It's hosted by us. Our audio production is done by Ellie. Our production assistant is Krista Murison. And various other podcasting shenanigans are done by me.
If you want to support us, the easiest way to do that is rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. We love hearing what you have to say.
If you want to support us on our Patreon, you get access to ad-free episodes, you get access to our Discord chat, all of our bonus Patreon Les Tricurriculars episodes that we have released. You can join that at bit.ly/LesPatreon.
If you want to get some Lez Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/LesShop. It is the perfect time to get your Pride gear. We've got a shirt that says Les. We've got all kinds of different, what's the flag one that we have? Are those are for Christmas?
We have the flag ones that we did for Christmas lights, but we also have like a pride with various queer flags,
We have
coloring the letters.
We've got a lot of really fun. We've got hip hip.
We've got gay all day in like a little cube design. We got all sorts of stuff.
We got a lot of good shit. So if you've been like, oh, I don't know. No, you want the shirts, and you better get them at bit.ly/lezshop.
Remember, we also have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings that you can find everywhere at Dollar Bean Prod.
Or at our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can check out all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app, as well as our second show, Journey to the Heart. The first version is up everywhere you listen to podcasts.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart-Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.